You know what's really missing from a crab boil?
The lamb sauce!
Probably not peanuts, but today we're gonna F around and find out, as they would say. We're making a crab boil boiled peanut. But wait, there's more. We'll also be making a peach cobbler boiled peanut. Now's probably a good time to tell you that I have never done this before. I'm an overconsumer of boiled peanuts. Here in the South, it's called country caviar, but I've never once attempted to make my own. So keep your positive comments to yourself. We're gonna knees in place and start with the crab boil boiled peanut. So here's what you'll need to make those. These are actually green peanuts. They're not actually green unless you're colorblind. Perhaps they're even blue. Green just means they're fresh out of the ground. So they haven't been roasted like a traditional peanut. Similar to this, these are the ones my crows eat. So dry roasted peanuts were once a green peanut, which sounds pretty obvious, but for some reason that didn't click in my brain. Hell, if we're being honest, I thought peanuts came out of the ground dry, but they're actually wet. Feel that. They have a lot of moisture. The taste is very starchy, just like eating a white potato, a raw white potato. Green peanuts are not available all year round. It's late July through October. I'm actually growing peanuts right now. I'll show you later. So you have that short window to make fresh boiled peanuts. You can use regular dry roasted peanuts, but the best results are apparently from the green peanut. Anyway, that's a lot of words just to say these are fresh as hell, y'all. These are fresh out of the ground. Come on, we're gonna do 2 pounds for each batch. Fun fact about peanuts, they float. So we're gonna take a lid so they stay down, a smaller lid, whoops, oh heck. And these are gonna start to boil while we make the seasoning. We're gonna go ahead and mix up the spices and the meat will be at the end, the meat and the potatoes. Hang on, one of y'all told me to start curving my fingers. I know my knife skills can be upsetting to most, but I'd say I'm working on it. I have made 0 attempts to be better at it, but I will, see? How about this? If you were in the culinary field, you just close your eyes for this part, okay? Just don't watch me do this. I mean, how am I supposed to curve my fingers? So all this is gonna go in this pot. The lid method is working really well. You bring these up to a steady boil and then simmer them for a while. This process takes a long time. Basically, it's gonna last longer than your last relationship, about 3 to 4 hours. Oh, and I think I wanna make a topping, dress it up, toss it in a butter, garlic. Why are you doing this with your hands? Toss it in a gutter. Damn it. Toss it in a, now it looks like we're having a staring contest. Can we try this again? I think I'm going to toss this in a butter, garlic, parsley, remoulade, is that the word? I watched a cooking show last night. What's a remoulade? I have no idea. Sauce, it's a damn sauce. Forget it. Let's start the peach cobbler ones, okay? Here's what we're gonna use for the peach cobbler boiled peanuts. I'm just gonna do the same method I did with the other ones. I don't know if that's correct. We'll go ahead and boil them and mix up the seasonings. What the heck? You need a PhD to open this can. We're gonna strain, or is it drain? We're gonna drain these peaches, this nectar juice, sugar water. We're gonna boil the peanuts, oopsies, in the sugar water. Now we're doing a cup of brown sugar, more sugar, because I think this is kind of similar to brining a turkey. You want to over season this so it soaks inside the peanut, much like you would over salt the brine or over sweeten the brine so it's soaked into that turkey meat. We're just gonna finish that up. So we've got these, can you see me? I'm over here. We've got these boiling or simmering now. Again, these simmer for 3 to 4 hours. The longer you let these simmer or soak, obviously the better they're gonna get. I mean, the ones I get at the gas station have been sitting there for weeks in the same liquid, so I don't think there's a way to really overcook these. While we wait for that, we're gonna do a redneck history lesson on where boiled peanuts came from. I always thought boiled peanuts were just something some guy named Bubba came up with and started selling them on the side of the road. Like if you've ever been to the Redneck Beach, Panama City Beach, Florida. You know what I'm talking about. Every 2 miles, they have a boiled peanut stand. There'll be teaser signs on the side of the road, usually on a piece of cardboard. Peach jam, boiled peanuts. Buy one, get one on a carton of Reds, which if you're asking me, that's a great deal. They're these little fruit stand things, or sometimes it's just a guy selling them from the back of his truck. It is a Southern staple, so I thought it originated here. That is not true. Boiling peanuts came to the South actually from the slave trade, the enslaved Africans. They brought over not only the knowledge of growing peanuts, but ways to cook peanuts. And usually in their slave quarters, they would have small little garden plots where they could grow peanuts. This was a way for them to meet their nutrition needs the best they could, because obviously they were not taken care of. They didn't even want to be there. Hello, we can acknowledge how extremely terrible that period of time was. I don't know much, but God did not intend for us to be so separated and so divided like that. We gotta love each other, y'all, because the world is falling apart. Do you hear me? So in their living quarters, they would have peanuts. They would boil them over open fire because, again, they did not have their basic needs met, so they were just working with what they had. After slavery ended, hallelujah, the traditions kept going on and actually resurfaced in the Civil War when we had to rely on boiled peanuts to also meet our nutrition needs. See how that circles around like that? Boiled peanuts had a lot of protein considering the size and were able to be carried for long periods of time, unlike meat. As time has progressed, boiled peanuts just kind of stuck around. Again, you're gonna find these a lot on your way to Florida. Gas stations everywhere, food trucks on the side of the road. A lot of people have boiled peanuts. History lesson over. Quiz will be after this program. Now we're gonna take a break, or I'm gonna take a break. Might go bowling. I'll be back in 4 hours. Welcome back. We're gonna bring this up to a boil. Whoa, look at that lid. We'll add some more water, but the sausage, andouille, is that how you say that? Andouille sausage. Corns, we'll let that cook for a little bit. Ooh, look at that lemon, see that? While the meat and the corn's going, I'm gonna bring this one back up to a boil, add some vanilla. Should we cut those up? I think I'm just gonna leave them like this. It's a mess in here. We'll do one more can. These potatoes are from my garden, so they're really tiny. Potatoes in here, we'll let that sit for a minute. Now for the shrimp. One very small cluster of snow crab legs. In this economy, that's about all we're gonna get. One leg per person. This is what we're gonna coat the crab boil ones in. Melted butter, a lot of parsley, and a lot of garlic. For the peach cobbler ones, we have graham crackers, melted butter. In my mind, it's almost like a homemade pie crust. Maybe some cinnamon, right? Yes, like that. This looks gorgeous. Can you agree? How's it look? I usually do that part with my teeth so you can slurp the salt, get real messy with it. Oh, that's good. The redneck oyster. Woo, praise the Lord. That is good. 10 out of 10. Oh, the crab is a little overcooked. That's okay. See how they're a nice, soft, just a boiled peanut. I picked these up the other day, and that's what inspired this video, because these are just salt, and I was curious what would happen if we did something fun. See how the shell is dark and the peanut is dark? But maybe this was a dry roasted peanut and not a fresh green peanut. I don't know. Here's the peach cobbler. I was gonna put ice cream on this, but I think that would make it too messy, because this is something that you eat with your hands. I love a canned peach. Oh, that's good. Honestly though, I don't discriminate with sweets. You could roll a piece of garlic in sugar and I'd be happy. I'm gonna eat it the sloppy way so all the juices can get in your mouth. And then you take it back out. It's kind of gross, kind of like a sunflower seed. I love it. This is a mess. It does have a pie flavor. It's not necessarily peach. You can tell there is some sort of peach, but if no one told me this and there was no peaches on this, I would think it was apple pie flavor or pumpkin pie maybe. The recipe probably needs a little tweaking. I prefer the savory one for sure. I'm a slut for crab legs. You should see me when they do all you can eat crab legs. Honey, you're gonna need to pull up a chair. We're gonna be here for 3 hours. I love a crab leg. And I forgot, I got these. I have never tried these before, but boiled peanuts in a can. I'm gonna save that for a future video. It's, what is it called? I don't know. Most disgusting canned food, maybe the worst canned foods, I don't know. I went to the international market and found the worst items. We're gonna taste test those together. I also am working on, and by working, I mean it's just a thought that popped in my head. I have done zero to make it happen. Vinegar taffy from the 1920s, I think it was. I do wanna try to make taffy, get the pooling skills. If you're interested in seeing any of that, you can subscribe and click the bell or don't. Who cares, right? But thank you for being here. This is a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. We're done now. Okay, it's getting a little awkward too. Blink if you need help. Endings are hard for me. I'm the type of person that will just leave when I'm done with something. For instance, if I go to a party, very rare, I don't really like to be around a lot of people. Instead of saying goodbye, I'm just gonna turn around, Irish goodbye, I'm leaving. I don't want that awkward interaction or the hugging or the long period of time. Goodbyes are hard for me. As you can see, I'm struggling. This is an outro. This is me telling you that I'm gonna be leaving now and that I'm here on this channel every other Sunday and on my other boring channel every other Sunday, so the Sundays in between, and on my very serious, very boring channel, hair tutorial channel, every Friday. Don't forget to eat well and be well.